is a conversation, right? So today I really want to have like a conversation because I know that there are so many of you that are really, really interested in, going to New Leader Conference. I know that there are a lot of you that are looking to do Premier or Elite this year. And I really wanted to walk you through how that kind of works, but like, how do you actually organize it? Because I remember the first time that Jeremy Red was one of the Beachbody sales guys. He actually oversaw the entire sales team for Beachbody way back when I started. And I'll never forget when he called me and he was like, Melanie, I want to get on a call with you because you're actually like, you could be an elite coach. And I was like, what is elite? I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he was like, you're doing really good. You're on track to be elite. Has anybody ever, like, if some of you I know have gotten that call before and you're like, I have no freaking clue what you're talking about. And so I remember sitting in the storage room of my basement where my like office was, and I remember sitting there writing all of these notes. And he was telling me, every time you get somebody that hits Success Club, you get 2 points and you need X amount of points. And then you need to advance this many diamonds. And I was like, my eyeballs went cross and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Right. And I can remember putting that piece of paper in a pile and never looking at it again. And I ended up being an elite coach that year because I was doing the right activities. Right. But I understand that it sometimes, like as I explain it, I know how much it actually feels like a jumbled mess when you hear it. All right. So if I am ever explaining something and you are like, I must be dumb, I'm not getting this. You're not dumb. It just is that when the first time you hear something, especially if you're not a numbers person, it can feel extremely overwhelming. All right. But what I kind of want to talk to you guys about is, first and foremost, is, we have all these rewards programs that are set up for the company. So we've got Success Club. Let me even back up. We have Success Starters, right? So that is meant to reward people that come into the business and have success initially, right? So we want all of our working coaches to hit Success Club. We want our working coaches to become Success Starters because we want them to have those small wins, right? But then once people start getting good at Success Club, we need to move them through the pipeline. And so you're moving through the pipeline, but I want you to think about your people and moving them through the pipeline too. And so then the next step, right, of Success Starters and Success Club becomes Diamond, right? And so once we hit Diamond, 2 things happen. We go, holy freaking crap, I hit Diamond, right? And we celebrate, and then we go, God, I don't feel any different. I actually don't feel any different than I did yesterday. I still don't have a ton of confidence. I only have 2 working coaches, or 1 or none, right? I'm not really making that much money. People told me it was going to rain team cycle bonuses, and it is not, right? And so then we sort of have this moment where we go, okay, I did Diamond, but this is where people get stuck. If they don't understand that Diamond is just one of the benchmarks along the way, if you stop at Diamond, you miss the bigger picture, right? And so once you hit Diamond, we always say, we explain it like, this is your house, right? This is your foundation of your house is Diamond. And right now, all you literally have is like the studs, okay? You've got these studs, right? Maybe you've got a roof, but it's kind of a shell. And so now we need to start decorating your house with volume. All right. And the only way to decorate that house and make it a solid house is to start reinforcing it, right? And to make sure we're putting good materials into it, right? And we're taking our time and we're nurturing and we're building it the right way. And so that is the next step for those of you that have achieved Diamond, is being able as a business owner to say to yourself, like, okay, what is the next, hang on, I'm gonna change my Wi-Fi real quick. It's gonna just glitch for 1 moment. Okay, am I back? I should be good now. So the thing that you wanna remember is, and as a business owner, is really looking and saying, what is the health of my business? All right. And so for many of you, you may have whoopsied yourself to Diamond, which means you just kind of got there because you were inviting people and they were signing up as coaches, and you built your mom to Emerald and you built your husband to Emerald. And so you are a Diamond. But that again is the shell. Now we need to be a smart business owner. We have to understand what is our weak leg, what is our strong leg. We have to go into that sponsorship drill down, and we have to look at the numbers, and we have to say, like, who's active, who's inactive. We have to learn to expand and look at our Emerald coaches to make sure that they are active and growing, right? So now it becomes our responsibility to understand how the business works. And as a diamond coach, right, that's the next step. The next step is just whether you have to, I have a whiteboard that's over here on the wall. And I had a whiteboard in my office in our old house, and it was my downline, right? It was my diamond downline. And it was me taking a red, dry erase marker, and I would circle, or I would put an X beside the people that I was like, oh, I have not heard from them in a month since they bought their challenge pack. There is a good chance they're going to cancel their Shakeology, or they're going to not continue coaching because they've ghosted me, right? And so when I put that red circle around them, I am immediately saying, red blinking light, I need to replace that person. And so this sense of urgency to start replacing that person, right, comes into place. Now, for about 6 weeks, sometimes 2 or 3 months after you become a diamond coach, a couple of things happen. If you at any point let your foot off the gas and stop doing what got you to diamond, you will lose your diamond status. Why? Because people come in and out. And if you aren't as intensely focused on growth and more, it falls apart. So a lot of times people get to diamond and they go, oh, I've made it. I'm done. And they stop, and it falls apart. Right? And then what happens when it falls apart is it crushes your confidence and it shakes you for a moment. And some people don't ever recover from that. And some people quit because they don't understand, like, oh yeah, this is normal. People come in, people come out. I can't save everybody. People have to kind of be ready to take that next step. And so what we have to do is we have to work with that same intensity, that same passion that got us to diamond originally, to start getting us to that next level. All right. And so I want you guys, if you aren't doing this right now, I want you to go into your sponsorship drill down, and I want you to get good eyes on what you have. All right. Good eyes. And I always say diamond, then it is like, can you get 8 coaches on each leg? Can you get 2 emeralds on each leg? Like, don't just stop at 1 emerald. Your goal now is to just become this emerald factory. Your goal is to help your emerald now get 2 more coaches and get them halfway to diamond. So again, it's looking at Success Starters, Success Club, Emerald, Diamond, growing that volume. Like, this is the road that we're working on, and we never stop challenging ourselves to the next level in our leadership. All right. So wherever you're kind of at right now, you kind of know your next step, right? Whether it's stability or it's regaining your diamond, it's kind of doing that, kind of that pulse check on where everything is. If you're diamond, right, your next step is really saying to yourself one of 2 things. Do I need to, like, what is my short-term and long-term goal? Okay. So for many of you, this business can be anything. How many of you are like, I am so motivated by the recognition. Like, I don't even give 2 craps if I make any money at all. I need to walk across that stage as a 5-star diamond elite, or I need to be premier, or I need that recognition that, validating that, hey, I am, like, this business means something to me. I know there's a lot of you out there that are like, I need to check that off the box, right? That's kind of one thing. And then the second thing is, there are some of you that are like, it's income. I could care less if I ever walk across the stage. I could care less if I ever get recognized. Like, my recognition is going to be the income I earn that allows me to do the things that I want to do in my life. Right? And so there never is a right or a wrong direction, but we're always going to fight against that. What should I do? Well, so-and-so is doing this. What should I be doing? And my upline is doing this, so maybe I should be doing this. And my success partner is doing this, so maybe what I'm doing is wrong. And so the one thing that we have to really work hard at is saying, is the direction that I want to go in my business, does that feel right to me? Is that what makes me happy? All right. And so it could be rank or it could be recognition, because our strategy for how we're going to get there is all based upon that simple question. What are we building our business for? Okay. That's key, right? It's really, really important. What are you building this business for? And I'll just give you an example, and it changes. So when I first started coaching, I didn't care. I mean, I needed the money. So I was like selling challenge packs like it was nobody's business, right? So I was bringing commissions in. But I was simultaneously like, I need recognition. I need to be elite. I need to walk across that stage. I need to be in the top 10. Like for me, it was, so I made a lot of placement decisions that were not necessarily smart income decisions. Because for example, I would place a working coach on my strong leg. I wasn't going to get any more cycle bonus from them, but it was going to be a potential diamond, which was going to rank advance me. But in the short term, it didn't necessarily mean more money, right? But if I even like take you into my brain and how it works, I always would work to the rank and then I would build for volume. Does that make sense? I would get to the rank, I would rank advance, and then I would help solidify the people underneath of me to help them grow their organization. So every advancement, it was this leveling up process that I went through. All right. Now, if you look at my business today, you know, this is a really good, like one thing, like how many of you follow like the top 50 or the rankings in the company, right? And so, you know, I've been in the top 10 for how many years now, and I'm number 49. Does that mean that I'm not making good money? No. It means that I've changed the way that I'm building my business because I'm now building it for income. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Doesn't mean that I wasn't making good money before, but it was like I made a very strong shift of what I'm doing. And yeah, it's not necessarily going to be reflective in my rank in the company, but that doesn't mean I'm not still showing up and doing my job, right? And serving my people well. So there's all these different ways you can look at Beachbody coaching, and it's kind of wild. It's kind of crazy. It's not really straightforward, but you really have to learn to be like solid in your why. Okay. Because this business can be a blessing and a curse if you like let yourself get wrapped up in all of the chaos. Okay. So now, the next thing, so I really want to talk to you guys today about, you know, definitely the benefits of Elite and Premier and how to get there, but even just like your diamond, now what? Solid. Now we need to get to 1 star. 1 star is the next thing that we're focused on, right? Like we got to get to 1 star. We got to have that new leader conference invite. We have to do that. That is a non-negotiable. All right. If you're diamond right now, your goal is 1 star. And the best piece of advice somebody gave me was like, you should rank advance every 90 days. I know that might sound intense, but no joke. That should be the goal. And I lived by that. And I started to build that momentum where it wasn't every 90 days. It was like a rank advancement every couple of weeks, because I was approaching my business with that kind of a mindset. Okay. So within the next 90 days, I want to see everybody advance a star. That's the goal. Okay. So what you're going to do right now is you're going to look at your business and you're going to go one of 2 things. Do I have a working coach that I can literally wrap my arm around and I can help them get there? Right? I'm going to just walk with them every step of the way. Right? And they are also somebody that is matching my pace and intensity. Second thing, if you don't have anybody that is working the business with you, that is going to wrap your arm around you, what does that tell you? I better start inviting people to the business opportunity. And I can't just invite people once in a while. I literally have to do it every single day. Okay. So now that really propels you forward to say, I need to bust tail and start inviting people. So we've provided you with so many opportunities to invite to the business. Every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our coaching cocktail hour. Tonight, it's Jess Carey, and who else is on it tonight with you?
Mackenzie, Goss, and Prasanthi, and then a couple of my leaders.
Awesome. So you can invite to that. If you have the link to it, will you drop it in the comments there?
Yep, it's the same as all the other ones.
Okay, yeah, it's the same as it was last week. It's the right one. We'll make sure we join the right one tonight because that was me last week. And then we have another one next week. Rachel Mitchell is hosting that one. And then we're going to go into May, and we'll have, on Wednesdays again, we'll have more leaders that are doing it. But do your own. talk about it in your stories. When you talk about the coaching opportunity, when you actually invite people to join you, they actually say yes. All right. Or they become a little bit more curious, or they eventually are going to join. So as a business owner who was at Diamond, I knew that the only way I was going to build a rock solid team was if I got out there and was a leader before I ever felt ready to lead. Okay. So that meant I was talking about the wins. That meant I was talking about the next coaching opportunity. I started hosting them all myself as well. Right. And I would invite to other people's, but I would do my own. So that's the next step, is getting yourself a coaches that are also going to follow your lead. The third thing you can do is build your spouse. All right. So you can begin to put coaches under your spouse if you want to do that. Now, significant other or spouse, again, really evaluating your goals. Is my goal, do I need income right away? Because if my spouse is placed on my strong leg, I'm not going to be making more money. Does that make sense? Because I'm putting volume on a strong leg where I might not be getting that income. But if you are more driven by the recognition and one star diamond means something to you more so than the income, that might be the right business strategy for you. If you say to yourself, my spouse is on my weak leg, you can build that to diamond, then you get both income and volume and recognition. Okay. So you always are kind of looking at things two ways. Now, my husband was on my strong leg, so it didn't benefit me to build him to star diamond right away. But then it also happened that my first working coach was also on my strong leg. So I ended up having a diamond on my strong leg, and that was my first star. Look, I made it. It wasn't a disadvantage. I ended up placing everybody on my weak leg, and then I ended up getting diamonds over there. So it all works out in the end. So don't ever think you're at a disadvantage because of where your spouse is placed. Okay. It's all about the way that you approach it and the way that you look at it. All right. So we're all going to get to New Leader Conference. We're going to advance the star in the next 90 days, right? We know what we need to do to get there. All right. Now, the next step is really looking at 2-star, because 2-star unlocks your compensation plan, another level of your compensation plan. All right. And 2-star means you have a diamond on the left and you have a diamond on the right. Okay. So you have one diamond on each side. When you have a second diamond, and you get to open something called a second business center. So you get to, like, I got to open up a Melanie Mitro. I had a new email address I created. You create a new login. You sign yourself up as a coach again. And now Melanie Mitro I can place her wherever I want her. So she can be on my weak leg, my strong leg, wherever I want her to go. And then all of my challenge pack sales that I would have put through my regular coach account now go through that one. Okay. I can build that account to diamond. That's another star for me. And the cool part that maybe some of you don't realize is that everything that you sell through a secondary business center, a spouse, or your second business center, it all rolls up to volume. It increases your cycle bonus. So if you're a high producer and you tend to get a lot of Success Club points, it's like you've created your own rock star yourself. You've duplicated yourself, right? You've given yourself another diamond. You can create a matching bonus. You have the ability to earn matching bonus off of yourself, right? So that really, a lot of times people say like, wow, when I went 2-star, because you were a producer, you started to notice that income beginning to change. All right. So that's your 2-star. And when you get to 2-star, that's also kind of the premier benchmark as well. All right. I'm going to pause for one moment and I'm just going to answer some of these questions. And if you guys have questions, I want you to unmute or whatever too, and ask. So Kiana, you said I'm popping 1-star qualification on Thursday. Congratulations. That's super exciting. And my spouse is almost 1-star. That is awesome. That is, yes. And he's on your strong leg. It's all good. It's all good. The good part about that is for your spouse. If you're going to place anybody in your spouse's account, put them on your spouse's weak leg. Okay. right? Because then your volume, you'll maximize your volume on your spouse's account. All right. So when you log into your husband, make sure you know what his weak and strong leg is, set the placement for his weak leg. So anybody you place in there goes on that weak leg. All right. In your first business center, this is just another placement strategy you can do to maximize your volume. If you have to place anybody on the same side that your husband is on, because he's on your strong leg, you can go into your graphical genealogy, right? From your business center, find your husband, find his weak leg, okay? Click the buddy there, all right? Now what happens is it sets the placement to your husband's weak leg. It's placed under you. So anybody you have to place on that strong leg is gonna also help build his weak leg. It's gonna help you cycle. Okay, so that's just a strategic way if you have to place people there. Okay, make sense? All right, good. Chrysanthi, but also Ryan being on my strong leg means he makes money. Yes, absolutely. When do you have to hit 1 star for leadership conference next year? So Kiana, it is always like your end of year qualification. So it is 6 weeks before the last possible date, and I'll pull that up here in a moment and we can take a look at it. So it's around November-ish. But you're going to have that, you're going to be fine, right? Because you're going to hit that now and we'll be done with that qualification. All right. Any other questions you guys have so far? When I started to understand the power of building a team, it was like light bulbs went off. It was light bulbs. And I was so motivated to build a team because number one, I love helping people, like genuinely love helping people. And so that was a driving force. And I saw what it was doing for other people's lives and the impact that the income was having on them. And I wanted that for me too. I had that picture of my why, of the vacation, of the house, of the swing set, of the fenced in backyard. Like that was crystal clear for me. And I knew that the only way I was going to get there was to recruit rock star leaders and keep generating volume and with my challenge groups. Like I knew those were my 2 levers. And so that was a driving force for me. All right. So just kind of remember that, like taking your business to the next level really is starting to build that team. Okay. Now, the next step I want to talk to you guys about is we've got new leader conference. We're going to talk about Premier is 2-star and an X amount of points, and then elite. When elite, like our requirement for diamonds is 5-star. Okay. So when we look at 5-star diamond, that means you have personally developed 5 diamonds on your team. Only 2 of them need to be new diamonds this year. So let's just I'm going to take Mackenzie and Farron, for example, right? They're both 5-star diamond, but they have to have 2 new diamonds in 2020. Okay. It just can't be their old diamonds from last year. They count, but there has to be new growth. So our elite and our premier program, it's all about growth over and above the year before. Okay. So they would have to go and help 2 new people advance their business forward. If you're sitting here right now and you're diamond or 1-star, then you are going to get those, you'll need 4 or 5 diamonds regardless. There are people that start the year as emerald and end the year as 5-star. Okay. Like that's the coolest part about it. So there's a lot of times people block me out when I start talking about this stuff because they're like, it doesn't pertain to me. There is no way in hell I could be that rank at the end of the year. Oh, yes, you can. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything that you want to do. All right. So it would be 5 diamonds. That's your basic kind of requirement. You need to have 3 diamonds on one side and 2 on the other. That's the split. It doesn't matter which side they're on, but it's 3 and 2. Okay. Now I'm a visual person. So I put it on a whiteboard, right? And I'm like, have it mapped out. Who are going to be my 5 diamonds? Where are they going to be? Who's going to get there? One of those is going to be your second business center. One can be a significant other. So technically 3 more, right? If you're going to do it that way. Okay. So you can begin to kind of map it out. Here is one thing I'm going to tell you. Your deadline to get 5-star might be in November, right? That's like the end goal. but set your deadline like September 1st. Okay. Just say to yourself, I'm going to rank advance somebody every 90 days. I'm going to recruit my tush off. I'm going to bust my butt to every day do the things that make me feel so uncomfortable, like inviting people to the business opportunity and posting about it. Right. But you just say to yourself, I'm going to commit to this. And if you say like, my goal is 5-star qualifying by September 1st, more often than not, it's going to take you till like October 15th to get there. Okay. It always takes us longer than we think to achieve a goal. How many of you are like, yep, that's totally life, right? Yes. Always takes you longer. Always, like just double the time. Second thing, never just say, I've got 5 people that want to be diamond, because 4 of them are going to disappoint you. 4 of them are going to quit. 4 of them are going to have a life crisis and they're going to go MIA in the witness protection program, and you're never going to hear from them again. I love it. You guys are laughing because it's so true, right? It's so true. You're like, this is it. I've got the next rock star and she's going to blow up the business. And then you're like, where did she go? She's gone. She's gone. All right. So, but again, that's just the nature of the business. It's not that you're doing a bad job leading. Okay. We can always improve in our leadership, but we got to have more. So that is why we always talk about pipeline and filling that pipeline, because we need, sorry, distraction, but Amazon just came and there are 2 huge boxes outside. Matt just brought them in. I'm so excited. Those are my containers. Those are my containers. Sorry. I ordered them a month ago. Has anybody else been ordering stuff and it's not coming on time? And I've been waiting for these containers to organize my pantry. Okay, I am done. So anyways, we're gonna overshoot. So we need to have as many people in that pipeline that's why we're recruiting constantly, is because some people are gonna come in, some people are gonna come out. Anybody can talk a good game. Anybody can tell you they're gonna be your next diamond. But talk is free. Talk is cheap. Action is where it's at. So I'm always looking to see who's matching my effort, who's like coachable. And when I say coachable, it's like I tell them to do X, Y, and Z. And then an hour later, I see them do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, you're my girl. You're my girl, right? I love people that are like, I don't care if it scares me. I'm going to do it anyways. Okay. So now that we've kind of got a pulse on what we need, now it's time to kind of get to work. Okay. And what are the activities? It's the same activities we've been teaching you: inviting, following up, but it's being intentional about what we're inviting to and how frequently we're doing it. Now, I want to kind of show you where to go and look at all of this stuff. So if I go on to my computer here, and I'm in the Coach Online office right now, right? And so when you look at rewards and recognition, if you just go to Road to Elite, right? That's kind of like your place that you want to go to look at everything. And it may make me log back in again. It is. So that Road to Elite, and I always go back to that Road to Elite, especially if you're not sure what that breakdown is. And I'm going to walk you through the breakdown, but I also want to show you where to find your elite report and how to understand it too. And I know some of you know this, but if you go in, like, here's your Road to Elite. If you guys look, here's the overview. Here's a video that explains it. All right. Here is about the Road to Elite. So if you click on this, and so Beachbody does this thing. So you see this like graphic here. They do this thing where you earn pieces of your trophy. So once you get Team Builder, the company sends you like a recognition. You get a little piece of your trophy. Then as you achieve Team Builder, or Team Leader, they'll send you the next part. So your job is just to like follow the road and achieve the mile markers along the way on the Road to Elite. So I like that the company does this because it visually gives you something to focus on. All right. So your job, your homework assignment is to read through this. Okay. Your homework assignment is to read through this and understand that my job is to get to Elite Leader by the end of the year, or by September 1st or October 1st, is at least to get my 5-star locked in. You have all of 2020 to earn what we call points. So if we look just across here, it says rank, and we're just gonna go over here to where it says Elite Leader. So we're gonna go to this last column, okay? And on this very last column, we need to have 5-star diamond, right? We need to have 105 elite points, which we now call them leadership points. That's step number 2. We need to develop at least 2 new diamonds in 2020. And then there's this weak leg volume requirement of 5,000 volume on your weak leg. This elite leader is a good picture of somebody that is starting to really build solid income. All right. That's like becoming an elite coach. You are in the top 0.01% of the company. All right. That's the number of people that are elite. When you become an elite coach, you are saying to yourself, you're saying to other people around you, I have the ability to influence other people, and I've had the ability to grow an organization, to grow a downline. I'm producing volume. I don't just have a team of discount coaches. I actually have a team of people that are duplicating and are doing what I'm doing and are building an organization. Like when you see somebody that's an elite coach, even a premier coach, those are your people that are not just product sellers, but they are people that are building an organization. Okay. All right. So I want to speak to those of you that are premier and elite right now too. In 2020, once you hit premier and elite, that's not the end all be all. Your goal is 5 coaches to 5-star diamond. All right, 5 coaches to 5-star diamond. If you really want to look at, I need to build solid downline volume, 5 coaches to 5-star. All right, that's your next step. So that way there's something for everybody that we're focused on. And those are the things that I was really focused on and then even today, this is what I look at in my business. If I were to walk, not that I'm walking away, please don't take this the wrong way. If I were to walk away right now, would my organization self-sustain itself? That is my driving force when I wake up in the morning, is to say, have I created independent leaders? That's what drives me to get up and show up for you guys, even today. So if you see this process, I went from new leader, I went from developing leader, I went from, building that volume to getting to elite, to how do I create more leadership? And then how do I create independent, self-sustaining leaders that continue to carry on? All right. So that's like looking out. That's your 10-year out kind of plan as you look at the business, is knowing that you have leaders that are self-sustaining, that are creative, that are innovating, and that are running whether you're running or not. Okay, so these are your benchmarks, all right, that you want to work on. And then if we click here, okay, if we say FAQ 8074, and if I click on that and I look at that, this is going to give me the breakdown of what those points actually mean. Okay, so it walks you through everything right there. I'm just going to click on how to earn points. And this is the part when I was telling you at the beginning that Jeremy read when he was explaining it to me. I was like, I don't know what the hell you were talking about. All right, so here's all I want you to do with this. There are a few things I want you to track every single month. And how many of you are paper and pencil people? Like you just love keeping paper and pencil. Okay, so you're going to get out a sheet of paper and you are going to write April at the top of this sheet of paper. Okay. Then on this sheet of paper, you are going to go through your downline. So you're going to go to your sponsorship drill down and you are going to write down your personally sponsored coaches. And then you're going to write beside them how many Success Club points that they have. Okay. Then I want you to set a number. Can I help? Oh, I need to back up. Not just your April coaches. April coaches that signed up in 2019 or 2020 only. Those are the only ones that go on that list. 2019 and 2020 coaches in April. Write them down. And then you go to your sponsorship drill down and you say, how many Success Club points do they have right now today? All right. Then you say to yourself, well, shit, there's a 0 there. There's nothing. And then you're going to send them all a private message and you're going to say, hey, I just want to check in with you. How are you doing? And you're going to just start a conversation. What can I help you with? Right? Maybe it is, you know what? I've really been dropping the ball and I'm so sorry I haven't reached out sooner. But I'd really like to help you with your business goals or your health and fitness goals. Like, what can I help you with? I'm going to start the conversation. All right. And if somebody says like, I really need to make this business successful, you are like, I am going to help you. Let's do it. Whether it's getting on the phone or it's helping them walk through, you know, that process of selling their first 3 challenge packs. But your goal on this sheet of paper on April is to try to get your new coaches to hit Success Club, and definitely your new coaches sell a challenge pack. All right. So you want numbers beside these people that are listed on here. So set a goal. Maybe for you, it's like one person. I want to help one person that signed up in 2019 or 2020 hit Success Club. Okay. If you can do that, then next month, in the month of May, I want you to say to yourself, well, can I help 2 people hit Success Club that are 2019 and 2020? Your goal is to keep incrementally growing that Success Club base of people that are coming in, that are hitting Success Club, that are selling their first challenge pack. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's something that I do every single month. I'm always saying to myself, and then also if you pull out that April like piece of paper and you say to yourself, I don't have anybody, that also reminds you, hey, I'm not doing my part at recruiting working coaches. Okay. So this is what I have always done. It's always been a sheet of notebook paper, and I get a new one out every single month. And my goal is to add new coaches to that list, help new coaches get started with selling their first challenge pack, helping them get to Success Club, and then moving them through that pipeline. Okay. If you focus on that, everything else will naturally fall into place, to be quite honest with you. Okay. Everything else will fall into place. You will get your APV. You'll get that. That is volume that's produced by coaches that sign up this year and customers who place their first order. Okay. Right. If you're not enrolling new coaches and you're not selling product, then that's going to be an issue in that category, but you should all be doing that. That shouldn't be something we should be struggling with at this point. Number 2, new PS is personally sponsored coaches with 1 Success Club point. So every time a coach enrolls and they sell something in their first month or the month after, you get a point for that, guys. Okay. Every time your personally sponsored coaches that are 2019 or 2020 hit Success Club, you get a point for that. All right. So those are your point breakdowns. So focus on the Success Club, focus on getting them started right, and then moving them through the pipeline of Emerald to Diamond to Star Diamond. Okay. This one goes through ranking points. There's all these other things. So in the company, everybody has a rank. We all have like a number of where we're ranked, and you can see that in your report. And so the rankings in the company they take into account these leadership points, and leadership points are coaches that advance to Diamond, coaches who become success starters. You can earn these additional points for them. And that point system really says like, hey, this person's not just is not just showing up and hitting Success Club. This person is duplicating that. So the more people you help become success starters, the more people you personally help in your organization go from Diamond to Star Diamond, the more that you move up in the rankings in the company. Okay. So it's all duplication based. All right. So here's your guide. There is a guide for this, you guys. Oh, crud. I think my mouse just died. Hold on. Connection lost. There we go. Okay. If you click here, you have a goal guide. I personally think this is like a shitstorm of confusion. That's my personal opinion. But if you are a spreadsheet kind of person, you can print this sucker off. You can track your points. You can keep that in your binder. It can help you get there if you want to use that. I don't like it, but you are welcome to use it. Okay. I don't know. Does anybody use this and like it? Anybody? Nobody? No? Okay. All right. So deadline schedule. Here's your number. Here's your dates. You got to know. The second Friday of every month, you get your elite report. I'm going to show you where to find that. So that means the second Friday of every month. So May 8th, we will now start having Friday calls where you can jump on and we will be walking through your elite report with you. Okay. That's going to start happening right here in our Rising Stars call. Okay. You're going to have the ability to do some Q&A, ask some questions, talk through your numbers, work that out. That's going to happen. The last bonus week to start 5-star qualification, because you guys know, right? Like when you advance in a star, you have to hold it for 6 consecutive weeks before it's official. So November 19th, that is the last possible day for you to wake up and see 5-star diamond qualifying. Okay. And then you have to hold it for 6 weeks. So before it's official. Okay. So last day to advance to 5-star diamond, you have to officially see 5-star diamond by December 31st in your back office. You can't start qualifying on December 31st. And then your last day to advance diamonds is the 31st. And then in January, everything is announced. Okay. All right. I see a question. So hold up here for a moment. Lindsay, biggest challenge is many of my diamonds and coaches have an incredible amount of inactive people, as in 8 per side, and are sitting at Emerald. What would be your wording or tough love for how and why they should start taking it more seriously? They aren't making any money yet. These people are still being helped in free groups for free. Okay, so hold on. Hold on one sec. I'm going to just get out of here because I want to answer that question for you. Okay, so the last thing I just want you guys to do is if you go into your Coach Online office and you click on Road to Elite there, you can actually see your own qualifications will pop up in that Road to Elite. And then if you go to details, this is where you can see it for yourself. This is where on the second Friday of every month, your report will be updated. Okay. And you can go check it in because it's updated as of right now from January to the end of March. Okay. All right. So let's kind of chat about what Lindsay just said and some questions that you guys have. So I wanted you to get an overview. I wanted you to have this overview of the whole big picture, right? Because I wanted to motivate you to do the freaking work. Right? Because I will tell you that Elite, it builds your confidence. It builds inside that level of credibility you feel when you're an Elite coach. It just does. So does Premier. So does becoming Diamond, right? It's kind of that next step along the road for you. All right. There's that validation that happens. And sometimes it's just about checking off that box and knowing that I did it. The next reason why you want to be elite is if you're in the top 200, you get an additional bonus, okay? And you guys can all be in the top 200. Like it's totally doable. You can make that happen. You get an elite bonus. When you go 5-star, you get a 5-star diamond bonus, which can be a pretty significant chunk of money by being 5-star. So, and you get a 2-star and a 5-star bonus, a quarterly bonus as well. All right. So, oh yeah, Michelle, remember what I said at the beginning about how it was going to kind of feel like a crapshoot of chaos? That's why we're going to do these calls and we're going to help you make sense of it all so that, and that's why the first step that I said was get organized. Look at your back office, figure out where your holes and your gaps are, figure out who can be your first diamond. That's just the process we're going to start. Get out your sheet of paper, figure out who your working coaches are, who you can help to get to Success Club. That's it. That's what I want you to start with, okay? Pulse on your downline. Who can be my first diamond? Who can I help get to Success Club? That's it. That drives your behavior. Got it? Okay. Now, Lindsay. So instead of jumping into action, right? Like, and jumping into this is what you need to do, I think it's getting on the phone with those people. All right. I think it's, or having a conversation and just saying, you know, you have an incredible, like just first of all, just starting out the conversation with like, how are you? Right? Like, how are you? How are things going over there? Right? I've been thinking about you. Have that conversation, you know? And then I just would naturally be like, hey, you know, however it goes, just like, I was looking in your back office, like, you know, you have a lot of inactive people, you know, what, I mean, just even kind of saying like, where do you want to go with your business? Like, what kind of is your thought process? Like, kind of walk me through what you're thinking. And it's just, and instead of going into do mode and direction, just listen, just really listen and listen for insecurities, listen for doubts, listen for not a very solid why. All right. I want you just to listen for the gaps. You're looking for the gaps, right? And because you're just trying to get a pulse on what they're really having a hard time with right now. And maybe that is going to be a phone conversation, because what you see is on the surface and there's something underneath there. Okay. So I want you to just investigate the situation and then find your angle. Because once somebody has a clearly defined why, they'll do it. And also, if people know that you noticed too, right? So like just the simple fact that you're like, hey, you've been quiet lately, or, like, how are you? That sometimes re-engages people too. So we just got to make sure. I would go that route first. Okay. And then the conversation may not ever get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, like you have all these inactive people and you need to like reach out. It may never get to that point. It might just be a conversation. But if it does, I would say, you know what? Here's some things that are working for me. The 3-day refresh is on sale. Bar Blend is dropping into, Beachbody On Demand. The new bod groups are coming out. Like, those are all angles you can take. But I think before you just like put that on them, you got to figure out where they're at, and then you can find your angle. So it might be, let's start a bod group together, or it might be, let's push the 3-day refresh, or it might be, let's just reach out to these people. I want you to send this specific message. But before we can give guidance, we have to know some whys behind it. Does that make sense, Lindsay? Does that help?
Yeah, it helps a lot. It helps a lot because for me, I think that when it comes to clients and helping them in groups, my expectation has always been they are active. That's a requirement of mine. So I like kind of correlate my compensation with the services I'm providing, because it's my time. So that's the biggest thing, is that's a huge disconnect. It seems on my team is just that like the helping people means they feel like they have to be martyrs, and then there's just no kind of like it does really help to get a pulse. I have definitely seen in the past where the pulse is, I want to be a 5-star coach, or I want to be elite. Well, okay, like we have other things. So this whole call has been very helpful, just to kind of remember how to word things to people.
Yeah, and I would even say, why do you feel the need to do all of it for free? Like, and just ask that question, like, what makes you feel like you have to do this for free? Mm-hmm. Because there's a reason there that they're wanting to do it for free. Yeah. And then I had somebody, and this just happened last night. She was like, what do you think about me doing this 14-day free group? And I was like, why are you doing a free group? And then as she was telling me why, I was like, I think I'm getting the impression that you're not confident asking people to invest in the challenge pack. And then she was like, you're right. I don't have, then it went into all this. And I was like, well, did that person say that, or is that your interpretation? And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm totally projecting. And so it was through that series of questions. Guys, you have to read the book, Great Leaders Ask Great Questions. Like, that book is making me get really good at asking questions. I'm like loving it. And then Alex Carter, her like book too is another one that is really good. But Lindsay, I just would like poke a little bit more. There's a reason they're doing free groups. There's some sort of anxiety, fear, something in there that's making them do free. Okay. Let's see. Mel, hi, Steph. But I'm going back to last week's call. Clearly, Carrie's new coach onboarding is working well. Can we ask her if she'd be willing to share the outline of it with us in the links to the videos she uses, rather than try to create it? Or maybe she'd be willing to let us into her group where she holds it for a couple of days to copy everything. Okay. Steph. So with her onboarding process, yes. Why do I feel like she shared that somewhere? Jess, did you share that somewhere? Who shared that? Somebody shared those videos.
It was Megan.
Megan. Can somebody drop them into the Rising Stars?
Yeah, it was like in a Google Doc. It's a Google Doc from Lindsay Matway. It's a whole thing. And then there's the 3 videos. But yeah, I'll find it and drop it in the Rising Stars.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep calling on you, Jess, because you're like in my front and center view line there.
Hey,
I can see you.
I'm here for it. I got you.
You're probably like, what the hell? Why do you keep calling my name? So we'll get the outline for the videos. And then I don't think she holds a group. She just does it through private message. Am I right in assuming that? That's what I thought I heard her say, is it's not a group. So here, I will tell you, I immediately started implementing what Carrie talked about last week. So I was like, oh, I love hearing other people and how they're crushing it. I was like, this just gave me all of these great new ideas. And so Steph, what I did is I just took what she was saying and I literally just created my own, like on the note section of my phone, because my note section syncs with my, Mac. I like went through the process with one coach and I was like, okay, you're going to launch your business. Tell me your why. I asked her why. And then I was like, here's going to be your post. And I typed up an example and I sent it to her. I was like, I want you to customize this. And then I said, here, this is the kind of picture I want you to take. And I like did the side by sides. And so I just kept, as I was having this conversation with this new coach, I was building the file in the note section of my phone. So the first person I did it with became the guinea pig. Okay. It became the person that was the model for it. And then the next person I signed up, I went through the same process. All right. So that was kind of my process for how I did it. So we can definitely ask Carrie for anything else that she has. But if you are like, I need to start implementing this now, that was how I immediately started taking action. I just immediately was like, I'm going to start walking them through the process. Send me, as soon as you make your post, then this is the message I want you to send. You're going to reach out to everybody in your contact list and you're going to say this. So doing that will help kind of move that along. Okay, let me see. To those motivated by money, the 5-star plus 2-star quarterly bonus in the elite ranking is about $20K per year. Megan, I love your number brain. Thank you for sharing that. $20K a year. People want to be seen and heard. Yes. Good. Please. Would love that. Please. Yep. Okay. Just use the 2 visits. She just uses 2 videos. Karen, she's your coach anyways. Yes. PM. I should go back and re-listen then. I couldn't take notes at the time. Yeah. Yeah. Steph, definitely go back and check it out. I almost feel like I could go back up and listen to it and pick up some new points along the way too, that were really, really good. Other questions? It is totally about hand-holding. It really, really is about helping and getting into conversation. I even put like all of my new coaches that signed up into a message thread. And once they launch their business, once they are inviting, like once they've launched, once they send their invites, right? Then I say, hey, I've got this new coach message thread. Do you want to join it? And then if they say yes, I add them in there. And now I can kind of help them in this small group together. Okay. So that's kind of been what I've been doing with people as they sign up. And it really is like messaging them and talking to them and just like, here's how you say this. Here's how you do the conversation, and just walking them through it. All right. Anything else? Okay, so here's the thing. I love interaction and I love to like have conversation. So what we're going to do is, what's today? Today's the 22nd and the 29th is next week. So I am going to start next week. I am going to start asking some people in our downline to kind of help run some of these like elite premier kind of calls where we just jump on and we do Q&A. So there'll always be one the second Monday of every month, right? Or second Friday of every month, because we're going to go over elite reports. Just notice there might be these pop-up calls that happen, and they're going to all be geared towards the road to elite. Okay. So as you have questions about the, like, look for those calls and look for those topics. That's going to be specifically geared towards the people that want to go to New Leader Conference, want to develop a team and grow an organization. So you're going to see me start to kind of put some things in the Rising Stars over the next week that are going to help you with that, instead of opening up like a push to elite or a push to diamond group or like a push to premier, because I feel like all of us are like group overload. But Carrie even said that last week. And how many of you have told me that like those groups were the things that really helped you see the importance of getting to, you know, premier or elite. So we are going to start doing a little bit of that as well, for those of you that that is a big focus for you. Okay. All right. And if you have specific requests or people you want to have in there, let me know. Okay. I actually have to go because I have another call at 10 o'clock and I just realized that it was 9:59. So I hope that this was helpful. Thanks, Ashley, for the, yes, go crush it. Remember, 90 days. With 90 days from today, I want to see everybody rank advancing. All right. Okay, friends, I will see you later. Have a fabulous day. Bye, guys.